All right, scholars, in this video we're going to quickly review what synonyms are, and then we're going to talk about why they're important, what we need to think about when we're using them in our writing. So if you quickly think about a definition of synonyms to yourself, I bet that you can easily remember that synonyms are words that have the same or similar meanings. When we talk about synonyms, we do generally talk about word pairs or more than one word because they're word relationships. They're how we understand words. If we think about a couple of words that have lots of synonyms, if we think about the word little, we might think about the word small, or short, or tiny, or microscopic as being synonyms for little. If we think about the word big, that's another word that has lots of synonyms. We could think about huge, tall, giant, etc. as words that are synonymous with big. That's a great word if you want to impress people. Words that are synonyms we can describe as being synonymous. So what's the point of using synonyms, of knowing what synonyms are? Well, in my writing, instead of repeating the same word, I can be really specific in what word I want to use, or I can just branch out in what I'm talking about. So instead of saying that something is little and describing it as a little thing the next line, I can talk about it as being small or tiny, depending on what I want to say. So if I think about Little Red Riding Hood and I'm writing a description of her, instead of saying that Little Red Riding Hood is little, I can say she's a small girl. We need to choose our synonyms really carefully when we're thinking about our writing, and not just look up words in a thesaurus and then choose whichever word seems the fanciest, because every word has a little bit of a different meaning. Think about how little is different from the word short, or from tiny, or from microscopic. For example, if I'm friends with somebody who is smaller than me, they might be okay with being defined as little. They probably don't want to be described as tiny. They probably don't want to be called microscopic, and microscopic is not really accurate for them anyway. Another thing that we can think about with synonyms is that we can elevate the level of our text and our writing if we choose our synonyms really carefully. So that if I'm writing a scientific piece, instead of using the word little, I can think about a more specific term for it, like microscopic. Speaking of choosing our words really carefully and being specific, not every word has a synonym because some words are so specific that there is no word that has another meaning for them. Here's a great example for you. The word petrichor is the smell of rain on dry ground. That's really, really specific. There is no synonym for that word. So not every single word has a synonym. All right, go off into the world choosing your synonyms carefully.